Going on to your first album, in fact, before your first album, when you released your first mini album, Cast the First Stone.
We did a few, didn't we? 3 EPs, I think.
Yeah.
You did, yeah. So was that through a record label? Were you signed to Cooking Vinyl by that?
No, that was... It's weird actually, it all kind of happened really quickly. We started playing with Matty at Christmas, and I think around February we met our manager, and then through our manager we met Toby, and it went really fast, and then it was kind of like very much like what you need is like Toby really loved the songs. He's like, you've got some great songs, you just need a really, really good recording. So then it was like we booked in to go to do Cast the First Stone. Did that, and then started picking up support tours, doing our own tours, and just it kind of went on from there. And then the following year we did Just a Ride EP, and then I think the following year after that we did another one, and then King of Conflict come out. But it was all orchestrated really through our manager then, our manager and Toby, I suppose.
How did you get your first manager? Is he the only manager you've had?
No, we've had. It come about. A guy randomly in Mac found us and just was. He just said, "I want to get involved in the band." Not from the music industry. I think the band are brilliant, and he wanted to invest in it. So, and we were kind of like, "Great, this is what we've always wanted, really." Because at that point, we'd only ever played Manchester, and we were just a local band, couldn't get any further afield.
Where were you playing in Manchester? Kind of places?
Jabez Clegg, Roadhouse was open then.
I miss Jabez Clegg.
Yeah, and all them places.
All gone now. Roadhouse,
they have.
Night and Day,
Retro Bar,
Music Box,
Star
and Garter.
Yeah,
that was
Star and Garter.
Yeah, so we did the same as like every band does, like constantly playing and not getting anywhere. This is in a different band, but then
we just have we play anything, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we play anything anywhere for no money to nobody. Like you do, because you don't know how to get through how to open the doors.
I think we kind of we got to a point where we were listening to managers that were kind of part-time from, they had their own profession, but not of the industry, basically. And then in the end, I think, we thought, fuck this, let's do our own album. And then we put all the money in, did this album. It's kind of like rocking horse shit now. And this guy from Mac heard it and was like, wow.
Yeah, he's like the biggest Oasis fan ever. And we'd made this album called Self-Medication, just with our own money, against the will of like our manager at the time. He was kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. And we're going to sign this. You're going to sign this record label, and you're going to work with the guy who produced the first Radiohead album. It's like, yeah, but that's a shit album. You know what I mean?
It's my favourite Radiohead album.
Really? Oh right, sorry mate. Yeah, it's only
I'm not a huge Radiohead fan.
Yeah,
I do like
there's only 2 songs that I like of it, but I mean, anyway. So, but we kind of lost. We were sort of disillusioned with him then, anyway, and we made our own album. We'd managed to get it in like the local, whatever it was then, Magpie or whatever, music store in Mac.
Yeah.
And he'd gone in to buy the new Oasis album, whichever one it was. I mean, one of the ones that no one cares about. And he bought the first 2. Yeah, basically, yeah. And he bought that album, and he bought our album because he'd read about us in the Mac Express or whatever. And he found out where I lived, turned up at my house, knocked on my door, mum and dad's door, and I thought he was there for my sister. So like, my mum called me down, and he was like, I was like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll go and get her. So I called down and said, someone's there for you. My sister wasn't even in the house. And then he came into my room, he was like, no man, for you. He was like, bought your album, bought Oasis album, listened to the Oasis album once, and I can't stop listening to this album, what's going on with the band, blah, 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 blah. And he was really good actually, because he managed to sort of get rid of this manager that was doing no good for us,
Right.
and don't know, cleared the wood really, and just wanted to invest, and then literally really quickly after that we met what would be our manager then.
That was the
With
first time was
Toby.
at Jabba's Clegg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he just saw you play live.
At Jabba, I think like we had a friend who like brought him down.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? The time was right, and we had like a coach
There was-
load from Mac at the gig or whatever it was.
From that album, that self-medication album, we met like these 4 guys that we'd just become their new favourite band. And they were kind of pushing us more than we were. I think one of them made a copy and sent it into like Rock Radio, and Paul Anthony picked it up and made it like, I don't know, track of the week or something. And from there, one of them knew this guy. He'd got him to come to the gig at Jabez, and he'd said like, and he'd heard the album, the self-medication album, and I don't think he'd liked it, or he was just like, and then he said how many songs off there, and that set, was in this, and we were like 7 of them. So he's like, right, we're going to pretend that album never got made, didn't exist, and then we're going to do a proper recording, and that's where I went from with Toby. So like that that album now, when some bloke had one of these self-medication albums in Sheffield, the last thing, he was like, well, you know he signed that, and I was like, where have you had this from?
Was it that guy's copy that was on Facebook a couple of weeks ago?
He said, I said, where did you get it from? He said, eBay. Said, how much? And he was like, 96 quid. I was like, seriously? I won't pay 96 quid for like, I don't know, the rarest Jimmy. Like I haven't got 96 quid to spend on that. But
yeah.
It's amazing, like stuff like that is kind of. I think that's kind of why New Model Army seemed like a perfect band for us to start off with, because we seem to have fans that just that hardcore fans who like they'll spend 200 quid. I think like there's been as much as 200 quid on a self-medication copy. Just the other day, Dan got a tattoo. This guy on the west coast of America, he's got like Dan's artwork of the heart with Peace, Love, Truth music. Just loads and loads of tattoos, loads of fans that kind of follow us from everywhere, and had a lot of messages, since Northern Sun sessions of people that I've got no idea who they are, but just as a thanks for doing what we do.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of shit that kind of makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Really, that's really really special.
yeah, definitely.
But you deserve it. You're 2 humble guys, very, very talented guys who create fantastic music. I don't want to blow smoke up your ass and because you sat in front of me.
Yeah,
but,
I guess it's
well,
like
that's the way it is.
we've never really got on with the mainstream. You know what I mean? It's kind of like everyone's come on and thought like, wow, this band should be massive, and they've got these ideas of like, world domination, but they never seem to be able to kind of market what it is. And
I'd say looking back, that's the biggest regret in the last sort of 5-6 years, that we've worked with people and listened to people that have tried to make us or push in a direction that we're not. You know what I mean? There was a massive time where managers were we were getting loads of good stuff from rock outlets, and they were kind of like, oh, we don't really want to do that, and it was like, why not? And it was like, well, we think that you could be rock and indie, so we want to try and push you more on the indie thing and ignore the rock. And it was kind of like, but if people say to me what kind of music I'll always say we're a rock band. I'm never going to go, oh, we're an indie band or a punk band.
But you can see where there are indie elements in there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but I think it was just, I don't know, we got pushed into a lot of things that actually, it's not really us, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it kind of costs you and wastes a lot of time and stuff. And
but it's all part of the learning process, isn't it? Going on your own, it's a big learning curve.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I know you said nothing's perfect, but you'll get
not.
in a routine where you think, yeah, I'm happy with this.
I like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been spending days booking the cheapest European hotels. Do you know what I mean? And sourcing the van and the crew to go around Europe, and then thinking about producing the next album. It's like it's a completely different place than it was when we started out like 10 years ago. I know when we first signed with Cooking Vinyl, they were all about oh, you need to be doing this, like, and tweeting, blah blah blah, and none of us had a smartphone.
No.
And it,
Yeah.
are you talking like 6 years ago, like 5 or 6 years ago? That's the.
That's all I do. So carry on.
Talking like 5 or 6 years ago, where we were like, oh, you know, we're not. I don't know. We didn't have any kind of online presence. We didn't like address the fan like 6 years on. Kind of talk directly on social medias and that, and it's kind of what it's become really.
Yeah.
Like if you're not doing that, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot really.
Do you run all your social media?
We pretty much do everything that you ever see to do with this band.
Yeah.
Apart from book tours from this year.
Yeah, so like all the artwork and web design I do, and that's kind of just...
You've always done that though, haven't you?
Yeah, but that kind of come about from a necessity really. I never really wanted to do it.
Have you always been artistic?
Yeah, I found all my brothers and sisters are artistic, but, you know, I was always trying to get other people to do it, get the manager to make other people do it, and then it just... We're just in that situation where if I didn't do it, no one was doing it, so... And yeah, same with the social media stuff, you know, me and Al just sort of... Because, you know, when we first sort of started, it was the social media wasn't as big as it is now. Now it's like, to an extent, it's in some ways it's more important than
Absolutely.
anything else you're doing. How you're perceived as a band rather than actually if you're a band.
I mean, as we were talking earlier on, back in the 80s when I was in my formative years, the way I found out if a band was touring, you had to buy a magazine.
Yeah. You see the tour being advertised.
Piccadilly Records and look at the walls, see who the tickets they were selling at the time. Now you can wake up in the morning, 2 minutes later, you know exactly.
It does do my head in that like every band that you've never really heard of, and there's like you just get bombarded with this promo video of them on a stage playing to about 20,000 people. And then you click on them, and then they've only got like so many likes. I don't know. It's kind of smoke and mirrors where maybe they've supported a band or done one show where it's and you're kind of led to believe all this stuff that's bullshit. So kind of try and steer clear from that. I know, like last time, making a post of like, you know, we've got no idea what to expect with this tour because we've not been to a lot of these places.
This
before.
is your European tour.
This was like the UK tour. We played like half of them
sorry.
Places we never played before.
Right.
But I know a lot of people kind of respected the fact that the honesty of, rather than pretending that we're playing sold out shows every day of the week. I think there's only so long you could keep that facade up for before you get exposed to look like.
The further you go around the country, the less people will know about the Virginmarys, but it's the same about every other band. If you go up to Glasgow bands can sell out the Barrowlands, which is 2,000 capacity, come down to Manchester and they're playing small clubs.
Yeah.
But it'd be the same with you, if you go down south, you'd be able to sell out the Ritz and then go down south and it's a lot less capacity.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the social media thing is just, there's two pros and cons with it. On one hand, it's amazing because bands, like you say, you can get it out now. People can get your music and hear it. People can find out when you're playing and stuff, which is brilliant. And that's the good bit about it. The bad bit about it is kind of like back in the day, you know, if you wanted to hear about a band, you had to go to a shop, buy a CD, go and spend like 10 quid, maybe even 15 quid then. Go home, listen to it once, and even if you didn't like it the first time, you're gonna listen to it again and again because you just paid 15 quid for it.
Yeah.
And and the minute you're hooked, that's it. You're in. You're sold. You know. So it's like it's harder to get that now because it's so more accessible. That I see people now. And if I was 16 again, I'd be doing it. But I see people at 16 now that just go on Spotify playlist and literally it's a new band that listens for like. It's not even 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. It's like no, next.
Yeah, so through your phone as well with like crap speakers.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got 5 seconds.
You've
got 5 seconds to sell your band as to why should we listen to your rock band over the next rock band, and
That is such a good point.
Yeah, man.
So in the old days, you had to splash out your hard-earned money, so you listened to that album whether you liked it or not.
I did it so many times. There's so many bands that, like, if someone said, "Do you like that band?" I'd be like, "Oh, I love that band," but then I think, like, yeah, no, they're not one of my favourite bands, but I love them because I've had to get into them, you know, because of that.
I was saying like to Dan recently, it was his birthday, and it's like, what do you buy for someone these days? Because like for £10 a month, you've got every album that you could ever think of. And then like everything can be sourced, you know, like everyone's got everything. Do you know what I mean? Like you source everything for the cheapest online that you can get, and I don't know.
Do you guys ever look at your hits on Spotify? Can you tell how many people have been listening to your records?
Yeah, but again, we've only just started.
Right.
The ball's only dropped on that for us about 6 months ago.
Okay.
So I had a friend actually. He was talking to me yesterday about that's what he does for a living, like marketing analytics and stuff, and he was like, can I go on your website, see what I can do, can I help you out? And you know, it's great, but like him trying to explain it to me is just like
straight over
way over my, yeah, it's just like I can tune in for 10 minutes and then afterwards it's like, whoa, like this is like it's a learning process, step by step. We're kind of getting there with it, you know.
Like you say, it's like starting again.
It is.
It's exactly like starting again, but hopefully you're not going to go away anytime soon. So another 10 years down the road, you'll...
Yeah, we masters.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's what you want to do, mate. Like, give me Spotify, let me have a look at your analytics.
Coding, like...
You'll be getting
coding
phone
apps
calls,
and stuff.
Yeah, you'll be getting phone calls every 5 minutes to produce world-class bands and...
Yeah, I mean... I hope so.
Or the way the music industry is going, it'll be something completely different in 10 years that's like whatever the new thing is, you know.
It's scary.
It is, man.
Compared to 10 years ago, it's scary to think how it's going to change again.
And it's so unpredictable. I mean, I was saying to somebody, I was saying to somebody in an interview, in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, for all the bands that we've either come across touring with, new bands, or played with, or seen them, and some of these people I've seen and gone like, she's going to be massive. Like Stonewall, got great songs, the look. If I was at manager, it's easy, it's a no-brainer. I'd probably say about 90% of them bands they're not even playing music anymore, they're just gone. And that's the scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
That unpredictable.
But there's a lot of, as you well know, because you've been doing it for 10 years, there's a lot of hard work involved, and if those people aren't putting in the hard work,
I think
they're just going to fall by the wayside.
I think that's the thing, and everybody does it, you know, unless I always say the best advantage any new band has got is if they've got like a manager or someone that knows the way around the music industry, knows that where you've already immediately got a leg up on everyone else. But if you're like us and like 90% of the other bands, you just think, oh, well, I really want to be in a band, I want to write my own tunes, and I want people to like my music and have fans. That's it. But actually, once you get into it, that's not what it is at all. You know, like the realization once you're in the industry and you sign to deals and all that stuff, it completely changes. You know, and don't think you can be prepared for it. And like you say, I know loads of people that, you know, love playing the drums, love playing guitar, but once they learn the rest of it, it was like, it's not for me, I'm out, you know.
I mean, that's probably the reason why, not is the reason why, our friends Toby Jepson and Rob Town have started Lightning in a Bottle to help bands or guide bands through the pitfalls of the music industry.
Oh yeah, totally, man. I get it now, where there's like starting out bands and stuff, and they're asking me advice, and like it's like, nah, you know, don't do that. Like whether they're going through a recording, it's like, we'll be in charge of this, what do you think? It's like, no, like it's just another one of these guys ripping you off. The whole industry, I mean, I don't know. Again, for every 10 promoters, I think you only get one good one, and that the rest of the 9 are just in it for the cash.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy that used to promote all the big rock and indie bands in Manchester back in the day. And I saw an interview with him where it was like, what's your favourite bands? And it was like Britney Spears, Spice Girls, and he seriously that's not joking. He didn't listen to rock music.
Yeah.
you know,